Good evening. This is The Point of View. We're live on City TV this and every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. The Point of View tries to bring you the right people. We ask them relevant questions and we glean some useful insights from them. It's live and interactive. Hashtag The Point of View at City TV GH on social media. It's a big story tonight. The New Patriotic Party went to the polls. It was their 26th annual delegates conference. Between 42 aspirants, 11 of them made it. 6,000 delegates. When we come back, we'll be discussing the cost of that endeavor and its future for Ghana politics. Don't go away. Welcome back to The Point of View. So very interesting numbers. 26th conference. Over 6,000 delegates, 41 aspirants, 10 positions, 275 buses, 100 have arrived. The equations are very interesting. My guests are Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante. He is from the CDD. He is the Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement. For the first part, I'm going to have Samuel Riafe, a City News reporter who covered the conference. Later on, we'll be joined by other politicians to discuss the cost of politics. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good evening.
Good evening.
So we'll start off with giving you a quick flavor of what took place in Koforidua. It was awash with MPP politics. Here's a quick City Newsroom report on what happened on Saturday.
In a solidarity message, representative of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom, Dr. John Hayward, advised the NPP to focus time, efforts and resources on reaching out to voters.
I think I saw more posters than there are delegates here in the conference. And I wondered, is this...
6,000 delegates cast ballots to elect new executives for the 8 positions contested for in the New Patriotic Party's Delegates Conference held in Koforidua. In all, 42 aspirants, including incumbents, contested the various positions which ranged from National Chairman, General Secretary to National Nasara Coordinator, among others. Some opposition political parties, namely the People's National Convention, PNC, Progressive People's Party, PPP, National Democratic Party, NDP, Convention People's Party, CPP, and the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, were present to deliver their well wishes. However, the country's leading opposition party, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, was not represented at the conference. In a solidarity message, representative of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom, Dr. John Hayward, advised the NPP to focus time, efforts and resources on reaching out to voters.
I think I saw more posters than there are delegates here in the conference. And I wondered, is this really the best use of our resources? I have a lesson from the Conservative Party, which is voters like parties which focus on the voters.
Acting National Chairman Freddie Blay beat stiff competition from close contender Stephen Ntim and Dr. Richard Amwakoba to be elected National Chairman. John Boedu polled 4,277 votes to win the General Secretary race, while incumbent Treasurer Kwabna Abankwayeboa was retained. Immediate past National Youth Organizer Samia Wuku was elected National Organizer, with Henry Nanabuachi beating Dominic Edria and Kamal Dean Abdullahi to become the party's National Youth Organizer. Other winners include Kate Jemfua, National Women's Organizer, Abdul Aziz Haruna Futa, Nasara Coordinator, Rita Talata Asobaire, Frederick Fredua Anto, and Michael Omare Wadie were elected first, second, and third vice chairpersons respectively. National Youth Organizer-elect Henry Nanabuache assured the youth of the party of inclusiveness in making the party attractive to all. Stephen Ntim, who lost the chairmanship race for the 4th time, pledged his loyalty to the New Patriotic Party.
As usual, my loyalty to the New Patriotic Party is not shaken.
Anekufuado, who addressed the newly elected national executives during a Thanksgiving service on Sunday, reminded them of the need to work as a team in defending and promoting the party.
We see ourselves as the servants of the people of Ghana. That is why we have been called to leadership, that we are the servants of the people of Ghana.
So that was a report from City Newsroom. So maybe I've covered this conference. I mean, let's start with the headlines. The numbers are very interesting, right? So you had 6,000 delegates.
Yeah, 6,482.
6,482 delegates.
Yeah.
How many positions?
10.
10 positions?
10 positions.
How many aspirants?
41.
41 aspirants. Yeah. Is it true that there were more posters than delegates?
Very true. If you're coming from, let's say, Ebri, or let's say Medina, you're heading towards Ebri, the first poster you see is at Ayumes at the toll booth.
Yes.
When you go before it, you see a giant billboard of the lady who won the National Women's Organizer, Jemfua. You go further, you see that of Sami Oku. So from Ayumensa to Kofodia Township, you see MPP colors throughout. Billboards, banners.
Large-size billboards or
big
posters?
Big ones. Large-size billboards, large banners, large posters. So you get to Kofodia. And when you enter the conference ground, it's worse.
Why? Is it that the delegates don't know these people? Is it visibility they are looking for?
It's visibility. At least they know them. These are people who are not newcomers in the MPP. They've served the party in various positions. And so these are people who are well known among the delegates. As you know, they went around the country to campaign and get the votes of these delegates. So they were well known. It was just a matter of marketing themselves and making themselves visible. At least when a delegate comes and he sees your billboard and sees your face, remember, oh, I need to vote for this person.
You've covered a lot of party events, both MPP and NDC. Has it always been like this?
Yeah, it's always been
like this.
And it's more when you are in power. It's more. If you're in opposition, it's a bit moderate. But when you are in government, it's more.
So if you compare Tamale when they were in opposition to Kofodia is much higher.
Kofodia is higher than in Tamale. Because in Tamale, they were in opposition. That was 2014. And the campaign they did was a bit moderate compared to what happened in Kofodia, where you saw all these things happening.
But this didn't seem like a competitive election in the sense that General Secretary didn't seem to have a big challenge. National Organizer was a shoe-in for Sami Oku. So why all the posters? Was it just the chairmanship? Which races attracted the billboards, or was it all the races?
All of them, but then the ones which are very, very competitive, the national chairman, the national women's organizer, and the national youth organizer. These were positions we attracted a lot of attention from even people who were not delegates. For the general secretary, as you mentioned, the national organizer, it was crucial for the candidates who we knew very well within that race. So the huge billboards and the banners you saw in town, especially in Kofodia, were the people going for national chairman, national women's organizer, and the national youth organizer.
So Stephen Intim got 2,500, Freddie Blake got a bit about 3,000. How intense was that race?
It was very, very, very competitive and intense. On Friday night, when you speak to people, especially delegates, they were undecided. They didn't know who they were going to vote for. But before they came to Kofodia, they were told which particular candidate to vote for. But on the conference ground, things started changing. Because there were allegations, or we heard that some money sharing going on among the delegates. So any of the candidate who gives a bigger amount is likely the vote may go in your favor. So when candidate A hears that candidate B is sharing 1,000, he will go back and go and give 1,005. And then candidate A will go back and go and give 2,000. So it was the highest bidder.
Seriously?
Seriously, that's what's happened there. And it happens in every conference. Every conference. You say
that you've covered. People. So are the delegates giving the money before they vote or in some special room?
No, they are giving before they vote. So what happened in Kofodia on the eve of the election? The election was on Saturday. So on Friday evening, from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., that's where the operation happens.
1 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Because they don't sleep. Because candidates go in to do their last minutes, campaign, mop up, cover a few places that they haven't been, especially among the delegates, and the money sharing goes in at that time. And so if I go and meet delegates from the central region, guys, vote for me, something small for you, and vote. It happens. It happens at every conference.
From your experience, do the delegates ask for money?
They don't.
You're sure?
They don't.
They don't demand for
money? They don't
money?
demand
So
money.
why do they give them money?
From, let's say, a kind gesture.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you. I have had an opportunity to to follow one of the candidates to a region to go and meet delegates. So after the whole meeting, when they were leaving, he said, "Oh, something small for transport, because you travel from a particular village to come and meet me here. So just take something small." The delegates don't ask. They, out of their own willingness.
Are you serious?
That's what happened.
The delegates don't demand for
They
it?
don't. They don't. The people themselves decide to give to them.
Why did Freddie Blay buy the buses?
I had opportunity to speak to him to get further particulars on it. According to him, anytime the constituency executives want to do something at their level, they always come to Accra to demand money from the national leadership. And it was a burden to them. So they believe that, or he believed that, let me do something for the people down there. And so when they need money at all, they will raise their own cash, and then the national leadership will come and support it. So in the campaign, he promised that he was going to buy 275 buses for every constituency. So they will use it to raise their own resources than depend on national executive or the national office for these things. So the buses came, 100 of them 100 of them. And we are told that by next week, the other batch will also arrive.
Is it clear whether he paid for them or he just paid the guarantee?
What he told me was that it was a bank loan from UBA.
No, UMB.
UMB, so forgive me, UMB. It was a bank loan from them. So he, as Freddie Blay, just went in to secure this loan, made an initial payment of $3 million.
Which is his own money?
Which he said is not his own money, from his financiers.
His financiers gave $3 million?
For the payment, or a down payment of this particular bus. And so as when the buses come in and they work, they raise the money.
How is he going to pay back?
The buses are going to work. They have an initiative with STC.
To run the buses?
To run the buses. So they make money, they divide it into two. Half goes to the constituency, the other half goes to defray the cost.
Did you think this bus gesture tipped the scale for him to win?
It did.
So he could have lost if he hadn't brought the buses?
Yeah, very, very possible. Because on Friday, when the delegates came in, they were like, Freddie Bas Nintina Yabano, Freddie Bas Nintina Yabano. So to them, there's a good initiative from Mr. Freddie Blay. They've never had any national chairman or national executive make such a promise or even decide to do something like that for them. So to them, it was a good thing. And for the buses to even arrive before election day, it was like bingo, we got it.
My final question to you before you go: what was the main thing MPP was trying to achieve with this conference? And do you think, looking at the poll they voted for, they've achieved it?
Going to the conference, what was on the mind of the leadership was unity. You know, a similar conference in 2014 in Tamale brought about a lot of problems within the MPP, the election of Mr. Paul Afoko and Kwamle Japan, the infighting. So, in the minds of the delegates, they didn't want such a thing to happen. If you listen to President Akufo-Addo very well, he made reference to what happened in Tamale and said that they don't want that particular thing, the infighting in the parties, to happen again. They need a united front going into the 2020 election. And so they must, or delegates must elect people or executives who have beyond 2020 on their minds and make sure that the party is united to wrestle power, or maintain power and fight the NDC in court in the 2020 election.
So you said that with this team, they have that?
They do. Freddie Blay was the one who came in after Mr. Afoko's suspension, and they believe that he brought some peace in the party. John Boydu was acting general secretary when Kwamle Japan was suspended. He was part of the team who brought the so-called peace in the party. Sami Oku was there, the national treasurer was there. The new addition is just the national women's organizer, the national coordinator.
So it's a united team?
It's a united team. They've been there for a while, so they know how to play the cards very well.
Thank you, Samiri. I think this is the point of view. We're live on City TV. We're talking about the MPP conference, its aftermath, and discussing the cost of politics as well. When we come back, I'll be joined by my other guest, the Honorable Charles. Hey, what did I say, Charles? Alex Afenyu Marking is MP for Efutu. He will be sharing some experience and ideas with us. As Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who is the head of policy and advocacy at CDD, shares some insights into their study into the cost of politics in Ghana. This is the point of view. Don't go away.
It's engaging, detailed, and loaded with factual and incisive analysis. It's The Big Issue, your preferred Saturday morning news and current affairs analysis program on City TV. Tune in this and every Saturday at 9 a.m. and hear the newsmakers discuss the top issues for the week.
At that time, Charlotte was complex. I'm not defending Charlotte. I'm talking about the way we behave like hypocrites and ostriches in this country. At that time, she was a perfect person.
It's The Big Issue with Stella Madonu on City TV. This and every Saturday at 9 a.m.
We spice up your mornings with culturally enriched conversations, social interviews, and policy-oriented discussions that will keep you updated on the progress of the nation.
Because we're giving only those in their third trimester. So in the next 3 months, those in their second would be ready to receive the kits. And we're taking data at registration, which is before they take the kits, at delivery and post-delivery, so that we can analyze and we'll see the numbers. So from the numbers and the data that we're collecting, we would know what has worked, what hasn't worked, you know.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Let your voice be heard with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.
So welcome back to The Point of View. We're talking about the cost of politics in Ghana. Kojo Asante's team did a study. When did you do this study?
In 2017.
2017?
Yes.
And what were you looking for?
Well, basically, we are trying to understand the cost of politics. I think, anecdotally, people have been saying the cost has been rising. And I think we were always very interesting to get some empirical evidence, whether it's been rising. So we were trying to compare 2012 to 2016. So right after 2016 elections, we tried to get to MPs, when the whole action was fresh, to get them to remember the cost, what they spent and so on. And I think we're very clear that the cost has been rising from 2012 to 2016, increase on average by 59%.
Wow.
And actually, if you break it down for parliamentary elections itself, so primaries, it was about 20-something%, but parliamentary elections almost by 90% increase.
Wow. Parliamentary elections, 90% increase.
90% increase.
And what's the average cost?
So the average cost was about $85,000. That's cumulative average, $85,000 to basically, contest for election. But as I said, most people even say that's
very
quite conservative. But it's a good average, because in some places, in urban areas, in big constituencies, you'll be really hitting into the $150,000, $200,000. So that's, at that time, I think that's close to 400,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah.
And what did they use the money for?
It differs. So in primaries, it looked like the pattern is that people are trying to win some legitimacy within the constituency. So they are actually doing more donations, sponsoring youth activities, community sort of engagement and that kind of thing. When they get to parliamentary elections, it's about the foot soldiers. It's about, spending money on campaigns. So basically, people who are actually the brokers for mobilizing citizens are the ones who get more of the money. And then when you're a sitting MP, you do a mix. You're doing some community, you're doing some foot soldiers, just to, prepare yourself for the next election.
So it's more pronounced in urban areas, more expensive in urban?
It's actually more expensive in peri-urban areas.
Peri-urban.
So more municipal.
Like Ashaiman, Adenta.
That's right.
Versus, say, Adabraka.
Yeah. Or let's say if you are maybe a Matsaman, because you have to have a mix for urban and a mix for almost almost semi-rural.
Okay.
Right. So it sort of almost increase your cost.
So like Ifutu is a nice example where they have both urban and a bit of rural.
So you are playing with some adverts, but at the same time you need to do a lot of door-to-door engagement and so on. And the populations are also bigger You know, so the urban areas are very big, but maybe you can reach through radio and other kinds of things. But in those peri-urban, you have to combine door-to-door, you know, engaging with people directly, but also doing some radio and so on. So, but from every indication, it looks like...
What percentage of the money goes to foot soldiers and party people?
So they're kind of, we have some breakdowns. If I can...
Just to give an idea of who is the money going to radio adverts? Is it going into
campaigns about 39%, donations 25%, party workers 22%, media advertisement about 40%. This is all.
Oh, so we get some.
That's all on the average. Of course.
See. Where do they get the money from?
So mostly personal income is the
personal income.
Yes, this is savings, people's salaries. Then friends and family.
Does it include bank loans?
Yes, bank loans, like I think the fourth source of income.
So savings, salaries, friends and
families. So yeah, personal income, friends and families, family members, political party loans, sale of personal assets. You know, presidential candidate depends.
Wow.
Yeah.
We will come to MPP and what happened, but let me bring my other guest. Just his initial reaction. As a politician, this is your, I think, second term in Parliament. Does this shock you? Is it the average is about 400,000 cedis to get into Parliament? Did you spend more or less?
I'm sure you spend more.
What's your reaction to this study? This is 2017 study, right?
2017.
What's your reaction to this?
We didn't have elections in 2017.
Yeah, so how did you... This is for...
That was done after...
So this is for the 2016 people?
Yes, of
course. Both
course.
winners and losers?
Yeah, but they are also comparing. So in all of those cases, they are comparing between what they spent in 2012, what they spent in 2016.
Okay.
You know, generally, yeah.
Well, I think I agree with the aspect of sources of funding. I mean, obviously... When you get to Parliament, you hear your colleagues telling you how they came to Parliament. I can at least see some of the pointers there. Yes, it's expensive to engage in politics. It is. Because the expectations of our people are such that you can't just do the talking. You can't. And they feel... Having been disappointed over the years, the time of campaigning is the right time for you, for them to get their pound of flesh. So they would want to squeeze the best out of you for their pockets, the community and all that. Of course, that's the only time that you get people saying that we need this road constructed, we need a community center and all that. So they have also looked at the attitude of politicians, that okay, we vote for them, maybe they don't mind us. It may really not be the case because you have some other activities that you engage in. Let me use my situation as an example. You come to Parliament, you have ECOWAS Parliament, you have other commitments, go and do this, go and do that. Yet the community expects you to be there almost every weekend. People expect you to be visiting them. I have started my visitations. And
already?
Yes, I mean... Last 2 weeks, we visited various communities, and the time we're done, it was almost midnight.
And you have to do donations when you go?
That one is a must.
A bag of rice there?
No, I can't be specific for now, but I think I do the needful. I have to do the needful.
From your own resources?
I'm saying I have to do the needful.
No, I know, from your own resources?
Whichever form it takes, you have to look for it. Last week I saw a letter in my pigeonhole from Ministry of Fisheries. You remember during the campaign, I guaranteed some hardball motors for the fisher folks, and they paid the deposit. They didn't pay the rest. Now I get demand notice every now and then
from the ministry.
You go there, yes. You go there. At the time, the NDC government created a certain impression that when you pay the deposit, you won't pay anything again. But then, the government was using the assemblies to guarantee for the rest of the payment, in the hope that the assembly would collect the rest of the money. But because it was getting closer to the election, government was silent on that. So I fell into that trap because I had also guaranteed advert motors around the same time. So they said, but why? The NDC people, they said they are own, if you pay 5,000 for 40 horsepower, which was costing about 14,000, you won't pay anything again. And 15 horsepower was around 7,000 and all that. So they are not paying. You see? They come and they say that they want Kanu. You go and support them. Because you're a politician, they won't pay the rest.
Can't you tell them it's not your job? It's not your work that you are MP.
It's not everything that you can tell your
don't listen.
I would not say they won't listen. It's not everything you can tell your electorate. A politician must always gauge the public opinion, the perception. Things that you know would not help your cause, you don't say them.
Even if they are true.
I'm not talking about it being true or false. I'm saying that things that you look at the person who is going to process your information. Is it right to say this at this time? If not, your friend Sky will tell you. You have to gauge and know what to say. The bottom line is that we must change the trend in the politics in Ghana. We must present ourselves as very sincere people. I think it's a mistrust that is leading to all of these. The constituents or the electorate or delegates must see sincerity in us. I'm sure the more we project ourselves in that manner, the trust.
I'm curious about something.
Would develop.
Is this demand both at the primary level and at the national? Because primary people are your sort of party people. They are your polling station executives and all these people who know you, versus the national election where you are lobbying for other votes. Is this demand for both types of elections?
Well, it depends. Sami Wiafi made a good point, and I agree with him. It was being very fair. You see, at the primaries, the delegates will not ask you for money. They won't
ask you for money.
No, they won't ask you, give me, in primaries, at the party level. Really? If you are going to stand for any election and somebody comes to ask you to give him 5,000, you can be sure that he won't vote for you. Or he's taking it because he wants to punish you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So normally they won't ask you for money. They won't. But you yourself, you've done your calculation. And like Sami said, he was right. You see, what is your opponent also doing? Then you hear, oh, he's done this, and you want to do this. You want to do that. So
you want to checkmate potential...
Some kind of competition.
Interesting.
They won't ask for anything. So if anybody tells you that polling station executives would be demanding, no, they won't. But you yourself, you go, you know they are party people. These are full soldiers. They have helped the cause of the party. You want to show some love. I mean, it's something that is done.
Wow. I see. So, did you spend more than the 400,000?
Or you still want to ask that?
No, I just want to.
I don't know my bike. I don't know how much I spent during the
But it probably cost you more.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I have to check.
But most of it was your personal resources.
I don't know.
No, because he said it's peri-urban areas, and your place is a very typical area because Efutu has Winneba.
Yeah,
and also
has then we about 9.
So let me just ask, which is more difficult, the very rural areas or the more urbanized areas?
Well, from my experience, the rural areas, when you go to them early enough and you respond to their community needs, it doesn't cost you much during elections. Because, for instance, last week, we visited a community called Jenjaze. During the campaign, they told me that they wanted a library. I've done the library. We are roofing. They need a KVIP or public toilet. It's been done. Okay? and
this is just one community?
Yes, that's Jenjaze. You enter through Ewutu Breku, you use George Anders Ojobi, and you enter. That's the first village you meet. From there, you go to Jahazi. This is what...
And these are genuine needs?
Yes, I mean, it's for community, it's not personal pocket. They need a library for the community.
So you can organize it without using your own money?
No, but at least I'm a member of parliament. You have a common fund.
Okay.
And then you can also appeal to the executive to support you. The assembly is there. The assembly receives IGF. So if you work well with my MC, for instance, we gel very well. I mean, we are in a very good relationship. So I don't have any.
But if the library is not there, they'll blame you, the MP, even though it wasn't your job.
At least for the Jane Janaze, they said they needed those two things. Because they have a community center. And the caveat, because they say when there are funerals, there's no place of convenience and all that. They needed it. All right. The next thing was vocational training. The vocational training, they take some people have completed JHS, they can't go to secondary school. We have a vocational training school in Winneba. They want to go there to learn the trade. Some would want to go into apprenticeship. They want you to support them. So you identify that and you support. That's the individual thing. And you know the taxi work and pay, which is one key because I'm into transport. When I came in, I went to Silver Star, guaranteed, got 30 Suzuki, brand new, and gave it out. So at least Jane Jenazi, 2 of the youth got it. And
you're already giving outbound motors.
No, the outbound motor.
And you are doing work and pay.
No, but for the taxi work and pay, they are doing well. Except that, of course, the time frame which was given was
and you guarantee the work and pay too.
I'm saying that these are the kind of risks. That's why when people were talking about Honorable Blair, I said, look, these are the things the party people want because they want some income generating activity, something that welfare issues at the party level. People are looking at welfare issues, and these are not new. I'm sure I remember Mr. Tim himself somewhere 2005 when he was standing for the first time. I think he was looking at some of these welfare issues that areas that they need a car, something to support giving corn mill machines and all that. You go there, the party people tell you, for instance, we are in power. Most of my polling station executives, they don't have the qualification to get a job. So if you don't get closer to them, they feel dejected. Oh, we've been abandoned. So some of these welfare issues, the community has this. The party is taking care of you. And I'm sure any serious politician going down to the grassroots would hear these things and say, okay, what can we do?
But it means people are doing the politics not because they believe in the party. It's because it gives them food to eat.
But why do you get into politics all over the world? You engage in politics for the welfare of yourself and the community.
But these people are in it for their personal benefit.
No, it's no wrong. Why? If
you are saying they
you want the party to come to power, hold on.
Yeah.
A lot of businessmen would finance a particular party or would want a particular party to come to government because policies would create an enabling environment for their businesses. Right or wrong?
Yes, for their business. But you're saying
right,
for personally.
Hold on. Right or wrong?
Of course, that's it. That goes without saying.
It's not their personal business. Why? When we were campaigning, MPP promised the business community an enabling environment for their businesses to grow so that they can create more jobs. So it wouldn't be out of the way for a man, an adult in a certain community to have such an expectation that I want Afenyo Makin to be an MP.
But Afenyo,
so that as a driver,
when the government comes to power, it's our government, not the party's government. So if the president is a police station executive and expects his personal benefit from MPP coming to power, MPP is our government, not his MPP government.
All right, let me.
So the MPP must put in place policies that will benefit us all, not the one who, not his polling station people.
All right, okay, you have a point. The government is our government, but there's a subset. People who also actively identify with the government with a certain expectation. So, our government, but there are people in the subset there who have an expectation. You have to satisfy them.
But the directive principles of state policy, you are a lawyer, I'm not. It's very clear. When you come to power, there's a prescribed constitutional method.
I've not denied that. I've not debated you on that. No, I have not. I'm saying embedded in that. It's a constituency.
But is it legitimate? But is that not why you're saying that it breeds problems and corruption?
No, but even beyond that, I mean, and maybe Honorable is not making this point as clearly, but I mean, if that is the logic, that is discriminatory. You understand? Because the money that we are using is not MPP money.
No, we are not talking government using government money to give party people. He was asking,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That maybe
I was responding to party questions. You were asking party people, politicians. You are not.
No. But if you vote, I said Bernard, if you vote for a person, the person is in government.
Bernard, no.
What if you're a deputy minister?
Hold on, Bernard. Situate your questions well, so that you can get the right answers. You were talking about constituency elections, meeting delegates.
Yeah, but I've moved on. I've moved completely far from there. I'm saying that aren't there deputy ministers who are MPs? So we can't separate. I mean, there's a
when you are serving the people.
So maybe let's talk.
When you are serving the people,
yes,
and your party people are part of the people, do you deny them equal opportunity?
But do you give them an advantage in terms of who do you treat first?
You create equal opportunity.
But that's discrimination.
Equal opportunity?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I didn't say you treat them first. You create equal opportunity.
So if you are MP for Ewutu, and you get out and get album mottos for your party executives.
I've never said so.
I'm giving you
I've never said so.
Is that not discrimination?
No, but that is hypothetical. That's not a real situation.
But the people you got the album mottos for, who are they?
They are Futu people. They are fishermen.
They are not your party members?
They are fishermen.
What was the basis for them getting the
because they needed them.
And so you got both MPP and non-MPP people?
I am saying that I gave those album mottos to fishermen.
And they work and pay too.
They vote in a Futu. But they work and pay. The Futu people are benefiting.
Whether they are MP, you don't ask them any question.
But that is secondary. The primary duty is to serve the people of Ifutu.
But what if all of them are Ifutu MPP?
But they are Ifutu.
But then that's discrimination against Ifutu.
No. That is when you deliberately want to deny others who have equal demand and give to others. But if you are giving them out to the Ifutu people, it's not discrimination.
Once they are Ifutu, whether they are all MPP or not, it's not a problem. Once they are
but you are dealing with Ifutu people. You don't have to move to find out, are they MPP, NGC?
So you don't find out?
You don't need to. What is important is that
that's fair. If you don't
what is important is that these are your constituents. They have voted for you. The man is a driver. He has a license. He needs work and pay. You've given it to him. Now going further to ask, are you MPP?
But if 100 people need work and pay and can afford 10, how do you choose the 10?
Well, if you have 10 available, you give it to the 10.
How do you choose the 10?
First come, first serve.
Interesting.
Yes.
Is there...
No, well, I mean, certainly for me, there are real problems. And I think Honorable made mention, he made a very important point about this thing is not sustainable.
Certainly.
You understand? Wow. It is not. I mean, if you talk to MPs, I was making the point that the number of candidates who stood for 2016 elections, if I recall, if the numbers are right, it's almost 1,000, right?
Yeah.
But only 275 people got elected.
Yes.
If they are all spending this amount of money, taking loans, taking personal savings, and so on and so forth, at every election, and this is every 4 years, and this is just primaries and parliamentary, we haven't talked about even executive elections and how much you have to spend for that. And this is at national level, at regional level, at constituency level, at even polling station level.
Wow.
All right. If you add all of those monies together, there's a lot of people who are taking huge risk and fall into debt. So we increasingly are monetizing the politics. Citizens are feeding into it. Politicians are responding to that demand, and it's escalating every year. Because when people, I think Rollins time, people used to talk about T-shirts and all of those things. Then he moved all the way to flat screen TVs and when they were doing delegates. And we thought that, maybe if we expand the electoral college, we might actually minimize, because there will be too many people to. Now 6,000 delegates, people are still finding innovative ways to still give people material incentives. And that you can't sustain it. Because it is, where are you going to get the money from? And you get to a point where increasingly it is the big people who have money that then begin to control politics. Because everybody is going to them. Everybody is going.
So the consequence is that you could have godfathers in politics.
Oh, it is. You are getting closer to that place.
Godfathers.
Yeah, of course. Because for the chairman, this is a $11 million guarantee. If you go to a bank today and say, you, Bernard, you want to guarantee 11 million, they will say, okay, assets, who are you bringing? There are so many things for you to be able to guarantee that. And we know from all of the horrors at Maslock that for party people, these things are rewards. You are giving them for their efforts. So when you, as Honorable was saying, when you go and tell them that, oh, now you have to make a contribution or pay back or this and that, nobody will mind you. So it's a risk that you have taken on your own. And somebody's got to pay for that. And that is a huge, colossal amount of money. So if it's that level, the next election we will have, it will be bigger than
Can
that.
it lead to corruption?
Oh, of course. How are you going to pay those things back? All of the people who are raising, it creates an environment where it's very, very difficult. So when you enter government, you are always constantly trying to find money to recoup your investment. Because people go and borrow money. People go and sell their assets. And every time, 4 years, the game is this way, that the only way to secure investment over a long term is to run again. And there might not be a guarantee that you win again. So you have to go and mobilize another
So it becomes
money.
a vicious cycle. We'll take a short break.
This is hypothetical.
We'll take a short break. This is the point of view. We're live on City TV, and we're discussing the cost of politics in Ghana, using the MPP conference in Koforidua as a launch pad. We'll try and resolve some of the issues that came up there. Were there more posters than human beings, according to the conservative guy? And we'll read some of your comments. My guest, Alexa Penyo-Markin, MP for Efutu, and also Dr. Kojo Asante of CDD. Don't go away.
We spice up your mornings with culturally enriched conversations, social interviews, and policy-oriented discussions that will keep you updated on the progress of the nation.
Because we're giving only those in their third trimester. So in the next 3 months, those in their second would be ready to receive the kits. And we're taking data at registration, which is before they take the kits, at delivery and post-delivery, so that we can analyze and we'll see the numbers. So from the numbers and the data that we're collecting, we would know what has worked, what hasn't worked,
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Let your voice be heard with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV. Every Thursday night on City TV, you're welcome to join women from different backgrounds and opinions as they weigh in on your relationship issues. Watch Sister Sister as the ladies get real with issues about love, marriage, betrayal, sex, dating, trust, finances, and more.
Sometimes some of the guys are like, oh no, they want to wait before they get married.
So there are little quick response.
Oh, I'm hold on, lady. What if she does all the kiss and all of that?
And still nothing.
That's it.
If he really wants you like that.
You see, so it's like
Join Jessica and her sisters for City TV's all-women talk show, Sister Sister, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Also, live on 97.3 City FM.
Welcome back. This is the point of view. We're live on City TV. We're discussing the cost of politics. Some interesting comments coming through. I'll read shortly. Kojo Asante, CDD, and Alexa Penyo-Markin, MPP. Were you at Koforidua yourself?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't there?
I was unwell.
Oh,
yeah.
So you didn't see?
I was watching. I took Friday evening. I took some medication and
so you
I
couldn't
help it. So I had to send proxy. The transport minister.
So somebody voted for you because you voted?
The transport minister voted for me.
For you. How sure are you that I voted for your preferred candidate?
Oh.
Did you sign a bond?
He's my Masonic brother.
I'm told something.
He's my Masonic
so he
brother.
can't lie to you?
He's my Masonic brother.
I'm told sometimes when people pledge, delegates pledge to vote, sometimes you let them sign things because delegates are bad.
Sign what?
Bond. In fact, some of them, when you vote, they say come and show, take a picture of your vote and you can't collect your money.
I don't know about that.
No, have you heard about how do you ensure that they vote based on what you expect? If you give them money and they don't vote for you, how will you know?
Bernard, don't you think it would be appropriate for a non-politician to answer such questions freely?
No,
I'm not retiring in politics.
No, we are asking.
I'm not about to retire.
No, this point of information, we want education.
Which point of information?
Because you've been through very tough
Assemblyman.
primaries. In fact, Apenyoma King's seat until he got it was an NDC seat. And the kinds of people you beat to get that seat showed that you did a lot of work. And you have
I lost by 1 vote.
Yeah.
I went back to the assembly 8 years, presiding member, and then came back again. It was difficult.
Have you had delegates deceive you before? At primary level?
Yes.
They promise you?
Yes.
Did you give them money?
The time that but we've been talking about it. I mean, we've been talking about it.
So they took money but they didn't vote for you?
I'm saying that when I answered your earlier question, that when a delegate demands money from you,
it means they want to punish you.
Be sure that that person will not vote. Look, when Nanado's 2014 primaries, Nanado Alan Tremanti, we targeted 100%. There was this particular guy. He told my organizer, Supi, that, they should get some drinks and all that. So Supi started spending. At the end of the day, he and the other guy who took money from the man did not vote for Nanado.
They just took
when we're celebrating
and chopped it.
When we're celebrating, you could see their mood. And there are ways we can catch you.
So he took their money by
who know? If you don't vote, who know?
So he took money from who?
And then another experience, let me tell you, my paramount chief wanted to contest the Council of States. And the presiding members, they came to win, but we had a nice meeting and all that. Because they had taken double all over, after voting, they all vanished. In Cape Coast, they all vanished.
Wow.
And later somebody will call you and say, "Oh, Honorable, how did it go?" I say, but you were supposed to stay there. You vanished there. You're going to do double. So it's funny the way people approach it. I've seen very bitter, very competitive primaries where I lost by a single vote. One that my own uncle, may his soul rest in peace, I contested with 2003 primaries. I went with my uncle. I went with Sawyer. And, people were just chopping all over. At the end of the day, it didn't happen. And then 2008, again, a single vote. By the time that I was going to get it, I didn't spend.
Kojo, can we consider Freddie Blay buses as vote buying?
Oh no, we are not even considering. It's vote buying.
It is vote buying.
Oh really? What is vote buying?
It's vote buying.
What's vote buying?
It is he's providing a promise. Actually delivered the buses. It's a promise, a material inducement for potential voters to vote for him ahead of an election. That is vote buying in every definition that you can have in a democracy. That's why if you go to our own constitution and if you go to statutes, why do we try to uphold those kinds of things, frown upon those kinds of things? Because you want to create a level playing field for everybody to participate, for ideas, generation, and so on. If it is about going to just get money to induce people, then you should just go and bring Bill Gates or whoever to kind of pay everybody, and the person who has the most money should win. But you cannot build any democracy based on those kinds of incentives, because then the whole you basically make a mockery of our democracy. So for me, it's vote buying. He's not the only person that does it. But what for me is worrying is that what I see as an escalation. As I said, now is buses. Somebody will come and buy, I don't know whether it's airplanes or whatever it is. So it worries me that trend continues. As you said, the team did it before.
Doc, let's let me try and understand.
Yes.
You are going into an election. This is in-house. You know the expectation of your people.
Why do you say in-house?
Oh, it's an MPP affair. I'm talking about, I mean, you are going to deal with delegates who are party.
But the MPP is auditioning, actually it's in government. Every party, a political party, is auditioning for government. And that's why the Constitution is very, very clear in Article 55 that your internal organization has to be consistent with democratic practice and also consistent with the Constitution. Because it's not just the Teachers Association. You are ready to govern, or if you are in opposition. If you are in government, you almost have to prepare yourself.
I thought you would give me space to appreciate
because
the context.
Because you said it was an internal, so there's a distinction. That's why.
Yes, I'm making a point. Because what is on the table is internal election.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's not a distinction. It doesn't make you. It does not excuse you.
It depends. No, it depends on how. It depends on how you situate it. I'm saying that I am going into an election, and the expectation of the party executives in a particular constituency is that, look, we need to engage in party activity. Go to villages, canvass votes, go and engage in party activity. We need logistics. And I promise that, look, these logistics that you need, I would put in place support systems to provide you those logistics for party work. How does that become vote buying within the context of the kind of argument you're raising? Two, how does it become contrary to the constitutional provision that says that, look, internal organizations of parties should be consistent with the general framework of a democratic practice? Because you are dealing with a constituency, you are dealing with party people. Same way your promises you make in your manifesto. That when I come, like Nanado and MPP say, look, vote for us. If we come, we would introduce and implement free SHS.
Sure.
Like, hold on.
Let me respond. No. Why is it different? Why is it different that when a government is in power, or when, say, the NDC was in power, and they go and share cylinders to community people who need cylinders, we say it's wrong?
The party or the government?
No, the government.
Right? But if the government
I'm saying, why do you think it's wrong? It's the same principle. It is that material inducement. Whether it is that it's a group of people that you are talking about is 10 people and not one person taking one bus. It is material inducement. And if you are,
and this is not good. The buses are not going to individuals. So
it does.
No, the buses. You see,
if you go, if
you are a researcher. You are.
I think you have to and read again PNDC law 284. And break down the concept of vote buying.
My point is that the man has given a bus to a constituency. He didn't give it to an individual.
Ahead of an election.
No,
it is a material inducement.
Whichever way you want to put it, he is dealing with constituency needs. Yes, the party providing means of running the party. Is the state financing our political party activities.
You don't do that when you are.
Is the state financing political party.
No, you don't do that. The party, when MPP party decides that they want to buy buses for their constituency, nobody is going to make an argument. But when you are running an election and candidates say that I am going to provide a bus and therefore,
but it's individuals who donate for the survival of the party.
But that is when
the party is not.
But it shouldn't be in the context of an
election, because then you are corrupting the electoral process.
How? Because you are inducing votes based on material.
That's what you
Let me read some comments for you. Nasser from Dansuman says, Bernard, good evening. I was on the ground and trust me, the kind of arrogance and opulence of money was unnecessarily too much. And if this is how Ghana is going to be run, then we are really challenged. The MPP is constantly becoming something else, and I fear for Ghana. Nase from Dansoman. Inokansa says, it's Honorable Afenyo Marking saying he doesn't know how much he spent on, quote, vote buying during last election, but it's efficient and fast to remember the CBN loan. Politicians will always be that. Bismarck Ajayebo says, even though delegates or voters don't ask for money directly, the politicians know that voters expect to give them something before they vote for them. So that's his comment.
But we're discussing CDB loan here.
No, they are surprised that you know.
But we've not discussed that one.
Alex Medelson, a night make him to pass. Afenyo Markin endorses Blaze vote buying gimmick, yet he lashes out at government for commissioning the Commander Sugar Factory. That's his comment. Charlie, you know politics.
This is irrelevant. I mean, they have their own set of
I always admire the submission of Afenyo Markin. That's his comment coming through. So, well, gentlemen, that's all we have time for, actually. So I have to say thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Kojo Pumpuni Asante, doctor, is the head of research, no, actually head of advocacy and policy engagement, CDD, and Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin, MP for Efutu, and also chairman of Ghana Water Company Limited. But that's for a different day. My name is Bernard Avle. Thank you for watching. Earlier on, Samuel Wiafi, who is our correspondent covering the MPP conference, came through. Keep watching CCTV. Good night.
Monday and a start of a new week, and we started off right here on 30 Minutes, bringing you all the trending conversations on social media. My name is AJ Akwaku-Sap, and I'm here with a gorgeous
Melissa Awad, and welcome back, guys. Yes, we are live right here in the studios at CCTV, bringing you all the trending conversations like AJ said, and we definitely have them for you today. Like, for instance, why is everybody talking about the 257 buses from the new elected chairman of the MPP, Freddie Blake? The commotion. We're going to bring you all that and more. Isn't that right, AJ?
Absolutely. And also starting off with a very different note. So we love it when social media goes viral. We love it when the good, the bad, the ugly comes out. But sometimes we narrow in on the good. Someone who is using social media for a very positive way. A nurse who's helping out her patients just through social media. We'll be bringing you all of that and more right here on 30 Minutes. Of course, get interactive with us. Hashtag 30 Minutes and on all our social media handles at CityTVGH and as well at AJ Sapon and at Melly Mel for real for Melissa. We'll bring you all this and more when we get back. And you're still tuned in to 30 Minutes right here on City TV. And we're starting off on a very positive note when social media comes out with a lot of good. So a nurse, Gertrude Yangston, decided that when she saw a patient who did not have the means to support himself, she was going to go all out and help him out. So we put out the post, and then she put out the post on social media, and then it went viral. We're all talking about it over the week last week, and we decided to, catch up with her and then figure out what led to that and what ground she has gained by putting it out on social media. So she put out the post and put out and said, I am tempted to do this for the first time on my wall. So yesterday I went for a morning shift, and this bedridden patient here, Abu Zakari, who has been in our ward surgical unit for close to a month, was looking quite unkempt, not because he hadn't taken his bath, but because he had very bushy hair, mustache and a beard. Then I remembered my small talents, where I used to barber my classmates' hair way back in SWIS, Sweden International School, and gave him a clean shave when the ward became less busy. Why am I posting this? It is to plead with benevolent people here to support him financially. He has absolutely no one and no money. Even buying food is a problem, because the people who brought him here are only, in quotes, good Samaritans, I'm told. He fell from a height and he was brought to our hospital after a week of the incident due to financial constraints, and it's in the same vein he's refused referral. Right now, all the doctors need, or what all the doctors need, is a CT scan, which costs about 1,100 Ghana cedis, and he doesn't have the means, so he's being treated symptomatically. How do you
symptomatically?
Go? That one, yes. But this is, she went on to put out his mobile money number and how people can reach out and help. So this went viral on social media. Right. Everyone was going, wow, the nurse who barbers. So she became known as the nurse barber. And everyone was really excited to help out. And, well, it was nice to know. When you saw it, what were your thoughts that went through your mind?
I thought it was so sweet. I thought it was so caring, and the fact that she said she's even happy to, you can call me Nurse Barber, I know boss, so she's cool with it. But also social media has been a buzz and really supporting her and the patient to the point that funds have even been raised. So let's take a look at some of your social media comments that you guys have been posting. And so we have from Gertrude: God bless you, my dear daughter, praying for his speedy recovery.
Absolutely. That was so nice to see. But
Kwesi Addison: this is exactly what the government is mandated to do, that they collect our taxes and apply it judiciously to all sectors of the economy, including provision of healthcare. But what do we see? Sikidie basa basa.
Sikidie basa basa. I know, that was good. That was
God
good.
Bless you, sis. I tried. God bless you, sis. Moving on to more social media commentary, and we have from "You are really amazing. God will richly bless you, MB. And may he have a speedy recovery." So many well wishes, people wishing them well. So let's continue on to some more social media commentary from Nana Ama: proud of you, dear. No wonder you are a product of KNMTC.
Yeah, oh, nice. More social media commentary coming in. Nana Bafo Asamoah says, wow, very impressive. You deserve a national award, Mama Nurse. I know, some people deserve accolades. They deserve some accolades.
Absolutely.
And clearly she's going to be getting some. P.A. Essa says, I'm impressed by the way you handled this issue, professional. We like that. You see, it's nice to see when healthcare people are given the accolades they deserve. But Patience Dainsu says, nursing is truly a calling, and it's obvious you have been called. God bless you, dear. Keep up the good work, and oh, you're such a great barber.
Yes, absolutely.
And Rita Daddy says, this is the message we're trying to preach. Keep up the good work. We love you, and our prayers are with you. Nice to know. So Francis Drake says, Mabs, now I feel like I'm taking hold of the future. I feel like taking hold of the future husband role. Allow. Now my ready pa. God bless you. Beautiful. Hey, so people are setting P as well. Beautiful. Trying to slide in there. Terence Tando says, good news. Be blessed with inner tenacity to continue the good work. Don't give up doing good. And so there's been a lot of social media commentary that's been coming in. People have been supportive, and it's nice to see that people are rallying around a good cause. Because when things go viral, usually they don't go viral for all the right reasons. But it's been nice. But you know, she has a very interesting story. Firstly, she tried to get into Legon, University of Ghana, on 3 different occasions. On all 3 occasions, she didn't get in. Then she finally decided that, you know what, let me try to be a nurse in 2007, I believe. And then she joined in the nursing school and came out in 2010, finished in 2010, started around 2012, and then now is posted right next to the school she really wanted to go to. So she's in the Legon Hospital, and she's basically helping out the students and the environment of Legon. So it's nice to see that things do come around in a 360 way.
Especially when you're consistent.
Yes. Fantastic. And clearly her good heart, she's like a nightingale of some sort. Like she's actually really amazing at what she did. I mean, going out and helping out. But we did decide to catch up with her. So the 30 Minutes team, led by my producer Farida Shaibu and myself, went over to the Legon Hospital, specifically the surgical unit, to catch up with Gertrude Yankson, find out what happened, how it went, and what the response has been since she put it out on social media. Take a look.
On her Facebook wall last week, Gertrude Yankson, a midwife at the Legon Hospital, posted a picture of herself barbering the hair of one of her patients, Abu Zakari. The young man was rushed to the facility after he fell from a 2-story building one night when he got up from his sleep to pass water. Abu, a plumber under training, has been here for a month. He was brought in here very unkempt by his employer after the incident. Since then, he's been left on his own.
He woke up in the night to go and urinate. So he was standing there. He felt a little dizzy. I think he was still sleepy. So before he realized, he was on the ground. I have a little talent. I wouldn't say... I used to barber my colleagues. I went to a boarding school, actually, in Sweden International School. So I used to barber my the classmates. If your hair is bushy and your parents are not there to take you to the barbering shop, I'll just give you a clean cut. I don't know how I got to do that, though. But so when I found that his hair was quite bushy, and he's been here for a month now, so then I decided to just give him a clean cut. I posted it on Monday. I did the barbering on Sunday. So I posted it on Monday. It was I don't know, I think it was just an intuition something. It dawned on me to do it, and I did it.
Did you think twice about it?
Yes, I thought twice about it because people will be thinking I'm using it for likes, which I don't know, because there's no money in getting likes, more likes. So, but I wanted
thousands of likes.
Yes, we have over 5.6K now.
5,000.
5,000, yes, plus. So I'm really appreciative. I'm really grateful to everyone who responded to this call.
The magnitude of the fall was so great, it has affected Abu's movement. At the moment, he feels numbness in his legs.
All that the doctors wanted to do for him, initially they wanted to take a CT scan to ascertain exactly which part of the nerves are affected and all that, but he wasn't having the means.
Abu is receiving treatment, but it will take some surgeries and obviously enough financial support.
As at the moment, we have over 10,000 Ghana cedis in our accounts, yes. And we've taken the MRI to, it cost 2,550 cedis. So I updated I'll keep the receipt and then update the people who contributed.
Doctors at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have accepted to perform a surgery on Abu. The first one will cost about 7,000 Ghana cedis. Without the help of Gertrude Yankson, Abu wouldn't have been able to raise enough funds for his surgery. For now, he has no worse for her.
We will need more funds to take care of the surgery and then his upkeep. In case after there is more of the funds available, I'll just hand it to him so that he can start life with it.
What's the number again?
The number is 0243 44 93 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. And you know, with all the recent controversy around our healthcare system, the no-bed syndrome, like, to see this is such a beautiful story. And the fact that he needed a CT scan, and he was literally left unattended.
Yes.
No money.
They will all treat him symptomatically. So if he has a headache today, then they'll give him painkillers. If he has an itch, that's how the doctors have been treating him, because they don't have he doesn't have the resources in order for them to do what needs to be done. So now that they got the MRI scan done, so they actually even realized that they didn't even need a CT, they needed an MRI. So once that was done, now they know that, oh, the next step is a neurosurgeon, because it's a problem with his nerves. So it's not even a thing of broken bones, it's a thing of his nerves. So now they have to get a neurosurgeon to come in, which I believe the process has started. So the neurosurgeons are coming in to now take a look at him, and the 7,000 is a start for the surgery, and then, well, he hopefully will be back on his feet, and at least some means to be able to start a new life or continue his plumber job as he needs to. So, and
as for the post haircut, looking pretty fresh there.
He actually did look pretty fresh after it. So it's nice. I mean, Nurse was talented in the barber, so you know, when after her retirement plan can be, you know, be opening a barbering shop.
Should we take a look at that? Let's take a look at that. The post haircut post. If we have it there. Wonderful. So it says, hello, beautiful people. I'm glad to inform you that we have received the MRI report, and a neurosurgeon at Kolebu was called to see Abu. He is likely to undergo surgery on Monday, and prognosis is good according to the surgeon. So far, we have received 12,500 Ghana cedis and counting. 2,550 paid for MRI scan, 112 paid for TED stockings, and 20 Ghana for a few toiletries. Neurosurgeon says he'll need 7,000 to start surgery. I think this is good news. Thank you all once again. You made this possible. Abu is smiling, and he says thank you is not enough.
Yes.
This is so heartwarming.
I mean,
oh my goodness. Can you imagine? She's done well. But have you ever heard those stories where the nurse takes? I don't know if he's single. I'm not spreading nothing. But have you ever heard the stories where the nurse takes care of the? Oh my goodness. And then they end up getting married. I'm just saying.
You think this could be a
love story,
romance going on there?
I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying.
We'll come back in a year and see.
we should definitely catch up. But you guys have, you guys have been pouring in. So let me just read just a few of your Facebook comments that you guys have been sharing. From Nana Yao, bless you, Han, proud of you. We donate blood for patients. We go the extra mile to make sure our patients have life. But what do we get in return? The media lambasting us and calling us names. Let's not give up. Big ups to you once again. And then from Erica, God bless you, Sissy. The kind heart runs in the family. Maybe this is a relative, I'm not sure. We're grateful to have you as a family nurse. I know why your dreams as a journalist never actualized. Because you would have missed your calling. Wow. So she wanted to be a journalist. Can you imagine? And now she is making the news. But let's go ahead and take a look at the thank you note that she actually wrote by hand, which I think is phenomenal to write something by hand. Writing's a little small, but basically she's just she's giving thanks to God the Almighty, saying thank you, basically for making this happen, to everyone who's contributed, and to everyone who shared this. And I believe this is supposed to be to, is it Mark Zuckerberg? Oh yeah, this is actually to the CEO of Facebook. Can you imagine?
He tried. I mean, if it wasn't for Facebook, she would not have the opportunity or a place for us to network enough for us to raise the funds for such a good cause.
That is some serious... Oh, doesn't he have enough accolades? Wow, but yeah, AJ, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for her.
It's so heartwarming to see. So again, we are entreating you. If you do want to contribute to a good cause, just get on. You saw the mobile money number, and then contribute to a good cause. I mean, we should get Abu back on his feet and living a very productive life. So,
and on her Facebook, if you go to Facebook, it will lead you to her profile.
Yes. So just go on Facebook. If nothing at all, look for Gertrude Yankson. If you can't find her, try #NurseBarber, and she will definitely pop up on your feed, and you can contribute to a good cause.
Her Facebook name is different. Mabs Ajwa Yankson.
Mabs Ajwa Yankson.
Ajwa Yankson. Yes.
Okay. So get on that, or #NurseBarber, and we'll find right to her. Or reach out to 30 Minutes, and we'll give you the right direction to her. So #30 Minutes. Tell us if you want to be a part of a good cause, and then contribute to this very worthy cause. We're going on a break. When we come back, we'll be talking some more, this time on buses.
We spice up your mornings with culturally enriched conversations, social interviews, and policy-oriented discussions that will keep you updated on the progress of the nation.
Because we're giving only those in their third trimester. So in the next 3 months, those in their second would be ready to receive the kits. And we're taking data at registration, which is before they take the kits, at delivery and post-delivery, so that we can analyze and we'll see the numbers. So from the numbers and the data that we're collecting, we would know what has worked, what hasn't worked, you know.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Let your voice be heard with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.
Tune in to The Point of View, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. as Bernard Avle takes the news further. He will bring the right guests, ask them the relevant questions, and get you the real insights you need on the big stories for the day.
What one action have you taken? What one statement have you issued?
Well, we've been issuing statements, even this...
on the specific issue of...
This very one.
Of no bed syndrome. Since you're saying that you've heard this before.
Well, we keep talking.
The Point of View with Bernard Avle, Monday and Wednesday nights, only on City TV.
And you're tuned into 30 minutes right here on City TV. We initially, earlier on, were talking about an amazing nurse, Gertrude Jansen, who did something pretty amazing by putting out the information of a patient that needed help. Together with her friends on Facebook, they were able to raise funds for him to get an MRI scan, and is now on his way to recovery once the neurosurgeon is able to get some conclusive test run and all that done on him. And hopefully Abu Zakari will be soon on his feet, thanks to the power of doing good via Facebook. So yeah, social media is not all that bad. Sometimes it has a good part.
Good parts, yes.
But we should move on to something else that was trending over the weekend.
Not so good, maybe?
Not so good, maybe. But the MPP Delegates Congress, or the National Delegates Conference, happened on Saturday in Koforidua. And one thing that led to, was at least buzzing before the conference even happened, was an issue of 275 buses. So acting chairperson Alice then, Freddie Blade, decided to buy some buses for the constituency. So one bus, one constituent. So 275 in general. The total amount was about $11 million, out of which $3 million was sent over by him himself and paid as a down payment for it, while allegedly UMB Bank will be contributing to pay the rest. The reason for the buses is that they will be going into funding the constituencies themselves. But he ended up winning. That was the interesting part after allegations of votes buying, all that thing. Yeah. So looking at what is all the new executives of the MPP now. So it is starting off with Freddie Blade, who is now the head capo in charge. He is now officially the national chairman of the NPP. Now, also moving on to the first national vice chairperson, Rita Asobbayiri and Fredia Anton, who's the second national vice chairman, Michael Omari Wadi, who's the third national vice chairperson, John Boydu, who is the general secretary, Sami Awuku, who's a national organizer, Kate Jimfua, who's a national women's organizer, Henry Nanabuachi, who's the national youth organizer, and Abankwa Yeboah, who's the national treasurer, and Abdul Aziz Futa, who is the national Nasara coordinator. So these are the new executives of the NPP. It was hotly contested, wasn't it?
Very. And so many people piled down over the weekend. I know people that have come back that are tired, and it was quite a conference.
It was, and all day, and of course, City Newsroom was on the ground through morning till the final scores were put out. But it was interesting to see. I think the most hotly contested one was the national chairman position, and it was between Freddie Blay, his closest competitor, who was Stephen Ntim, and then we had Amwako Ban, who was also the final one. But putting out there the infographic and seeing how the scores went, so it was Freddie Blay with 3,021 votes, Stephen Ayensu Ntim with 2,550 votes, and Richard Amwako Ban with 18 votes.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I saw it. The one that I think even one of it was just one vote someone got. So I was wondering, did his people that were campaigning for him not vote for him? Anyways, but 18 votes there. But Stephen Ntim, fourth time.
Wow.
Fourth time campaigning, contesting.
He tried.
Fourth time losing.
He tried.
I think it's no. I'm not trying to be shady.
I'm not minding you. He tried.
But I think the fifth time will be a chance.
Yeah.
So he's come back in I think in 2021 or something on that. So 2021.
This shade that you're throwing there.
I'm not shade. I'm just saying. No, honestly, I think you see this one. He made an impact. Honestly, I think people were even a little surprised with how the margins were, because people expected, and at least some people were speculating that Freddie Blay would basically win with a large margin. But it wasn't that big a margin. It was like probably about 500 votes difference. So it's interesting to see, like, if 500, he had been able to convince 500 more people, he would have been the national chairman. So it was interesting to see, especially as he was very vociferous in his allegations of vote buying, and then why is it coming on Wednesday, a few days before the thing? Like,
this vote buying, I think we should get a little bit more into it and take a look at. I mean, you know, City, we were on the ground, so I think we should go ahead and take a look at what was really going on. Let's take a look.
Energize the party so strongly, and yet brought us all together at the same time. We thank God for it. I will say on behalf of the team newly elected that we will now work on the unity of the party. We promise to work together in unity also. We promise to work together to faithfully serve our party, so that the party will be strong enough to serve and back and defend our government under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We are happy, but measured in our happiness. It's been a little contest. Maybe we hurt each other in a way, but it's a family fight. The fight remains in the family. We will now mend some of the problems that during the contest we might have created for each other. The one thing remains clear, and we want to send it right across to our opponents all over, that we are now determined not only to defend the government, not only to defend our gains since 2016, but to win in 2020.
Are you happy?
This is my thing. In a country with 55 ambulances, 55, and there's 275 constituencies, and you decide to buy a bus.
Yeah.
I feel that ambulances in these constituencies would have done better for the people in those constituencies than buying them buses. Yes, I understand the brain behind it, that it's supposed to, you know, make the constituencies or the people in the party more self-sufficient. SCC will run it and all of that. I guess that, but
let's just make something clear. Let's make something clear. These buses are not in any way, shape or form a replacement or an addition to ambulances in the country.
No.
Okay.
At all.
And I think that is what we will have a problem with.
You see, well, again, it's not a government thing, it's not a party thing, it's an individual thing. But I get it. I get that as an individual, he decided to do his own thing. But let's move on to Stephen Ntim and his gracious conceding of his loss.
To express my sincerest thanks to the Almighty God for making this day possible. I want to also thank the organizers of this conference and our distinguished delegates for doing what is expected of them. It's rather unfortunate that I have to lose for the 4th time in my attempt to serve the party in the capacity of national chairman. However, once again, it is victory for the new patriotic party.
Oh,
I
so
get it.
sad.
I know, but you know, let me motivate him. President Buhari of Nigeria, I think, ran 4 times before he won. You know, President Atta Mills of blessed memory, he ran 3 times before he won. President Kufuor ran about 2 times before he won. So the greatest people ran a few times. President Nana his 4th try,
there you go,
became president.
So you think there's something about the 4th?
So the thing is, the 4th one boy passed him by, but the 5th.
Oh my gosh.
The 5th.
Anyway,
the 5th. It will be. But I don't know about the president. I don't know how the president feels about Mr. Ntim. Because of a picture, some picture, no. You know what? Let's take a look at this. This was President Nana and his reaction. So in the top part, it's him reacting to Stephen Ntim when he came to greet him. You know, he put a finger there and didn't even look his way. But when the new chairman of the MPP came to greet him, he had a gracious smile and a full hand to receive him. So I don't know. At this rate, the 5th one, I'm even doubting. But don't worry. God is good. Can I get all the time?
I'm not minding you, because no, I'm just looking at the way everyone in this. I wish you guys could see everyone in the studio gathered here.
Everyone wants to see that picture, but
wow, what a shame.
One of these days we'll actually give you an opportunity to see what goes on in the studio.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's all time would allow us. 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having a whole lot of fun.
That's all.
Obi, of course, been coming your way every single weekday. This week at 5 p.m. prompt. 30 minutes comes your way with all the trending conversations on social media. It's been AJ Sapon
and Melissa Awad. Guys, don't forget to get at us on our social media platforms: Twitter, AJ Sapong and Melly Mel for real, and all our CCTV platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hashtag 30 minutes. Same time tomorrow, guys. We'll see you.
Week. Let's get the ball rolling with a look at what's coming up on the show. Crazy Eights, cultural events with a knock-on effect at a festival in Leeuwarden. Dolce Vita, star tenor Jonas Kaufmann brings his new album to Berlin. And fun in the sun, testing the wild rides at Waterworld in Cyprus. One of the 2 cities named as this year's European Capitals of Culture is Leeuwarden in the Netherlands. In a bid to raise awareness of the city, they called upon local artist Martin Winters. Now, most tourists to a city follow a tour guide or a map to see the sights. But when this man is involved, people can follow the artistic events set up along the streets one after the other. It's been called the 8th day of festival, and it looks a lot of fun.
Something odd's afoot in Leeuwarden, the Netherlands. Mattresses topple like great dominoes with their owners still on them. And a real F-16 jet fighter is on a collision course in one of the city's squares. The city's gone arts raving mad.
examples of what our city could be like in one day.
It's a good idea to do things together.
I'm amazed about the amount of people coming around here, and everybody's talking with each other.
I think it's great because if many people can get together to do something bad, why don't get together to do something good?
People are playing together in the streets, both in fun and in sports. But it's by no means what Leeuwardeners do ordinarily, or even once a year. It's all been choreographed by local artist Martin Winters. He calls it the 8th day.
The 8th day is in a way based on the domino effect. So if you have blocks and one is tilting to the other, you get a chain reaction. And we made a chain reaction through the town in the center, and one thing will tip the other, and it will go on.
Leeuwarden is the capital of the Dutch Friesland province and this year's European Capital of Culture alongside Valletta in Malta. It won the honour with a concept that calls on its citizens to join in on the action, together. Early in the morning, final preparations are underway for a total 47 happenings, each of which is set to last a few minutes and cue the next one. One is a giant domino effect in Leeuwarden's public library. Helpers of all ages have spent days painstakingly setting up thousands of books in the former prison.
The goal is to break the Guinness Book of Records, the Guinness record, and the record is about 10,200 books. And we're planning to draw up for 12,000 books. And at the end of the route, when all the books have fallen, the number what has befallen will be shown.
The first book is to be tipped at 4:45 in the afternoon. At 1 p.m, black smoke signals the start of the 8th day. A tractor drove down a ramp to a rather theatrical pandemonium and cued a troop of Aikido fighters a few meters away to demonstrate their skills. A few streets away, 12 girls are getting ready for a radical cut. They're going to donate their hair to children suffering from cancer.
Something we all have is hair, and if you have long hair, you can give it away to someone else.